Hey, it's Christine Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another reaction video. Like the video on your way in, let's get straight into it. So as previously mentioned, I am combing through the reaction videos that you guys have sent over to me via my email, which if you don't know is christinegracesmith@outlook.com. So this video was sent in to me. It's from a YouTube channel called Rich Cooper Unplugged, and it's called A Woman on Testosterone's Confession of I Finally Understand Male Desire. I have not come across this channel before, and I certainly haven't come across this video before, so thank you so much for sending it in, and let's check it out together.
I went through early menopause at 45, and so for 5 years I've been on hormone replacement therapy and testosterone. And when I went on testosterone, mind you, the level I'm at on as a female is still just a sliver of what an ordinary man walks around with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I ever denied my husband. This is awful. Like, I felt really bad. And so now I'm trying to like scream from the rooftops, like, sleep with your husbands, give them lots of sex, because it was the first time I actually walked in your guys' shoes. So I understand that women can't understand it because we don't have the drive, and therefore I'm like, you guys can't understand. But at the same time, if you value your husband, if you want to keep him around, you better be sleeping with him, because if not, somebody else, especially if he's a high value man, some other woman is standing by, and married men are highly valuable to other women because it's some kind of like social proof, like, oh, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that a few moments ago, where women want what other women want.
Yeah.
So women would rather date a successful married man than a loser that lives in his mom's basement that's single.
I mean, it's the whole reason that, you know, marketing and shopping and things like that works with women, because, you know, there's a reason that brands like, you know, Chanel, Burberry can charge thousands of pounds and dollars for bags, because, well, they know that women like them, and, you know, women want what other women have. You know, if women didn't see other women wearing this stuff, then, you know, they might not be interested. There's a reason that, you know, designer brands get to that level. It's not because they're any better than the next product necessarily. It's more just that more women are interested in it. So it's like, oh, if everyone wants this thing and it's harder to get, then it must have more value to it. And that's a married man, isn't it? It's, well, you know, she's wanted him, she wants him, she's married to him, so he must be a good guy. So I want him too. It makes total sense.
Right, because of that
yeah, absolutely.
Right, like a handsome, successful man that has women around him or is married demonstrates to other women that, you know, other women have already chosen him. So it saves them the hassle of trying to vet that guy. Like, the easiest way for a woman to vet a high-value man is to see a guy with beautiful women in his proximity.
This is completely unrelated to the video, but he has a British flag in the back, and he sounds American. I wonder why that is.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're a man that can actually initiate and hold conversations with other women, it doesn't even need to be anything flirty intentionally. Just being able to have a social conversation is enough to make a woman jealous. And I don't think it's a wise move for a man to try to appease a woman's jealousy, because that's going to work in his favor. Don't go and intentionally try to do it, but if it happens, and it will, because we're just jealous creatures, let that brew a little bit, because that says that she's still invested in you, she's still interested, and she knows that you probably have some options if she doesn't keep herself in a line.
Yeah, if you're not creating competition anxiety in your wife, then you're going to have to manufacture it. Like, if it's not passively happening because other women are interested in you, like, other women want to be with you, other men want to be like you. If you're not demonstrating your value passively, then you're going to have to manufacture it somehow. Maybe flirt lightly with the waitress, you know, when you guys go out for dinner at some point, not too overt.
This is such a red pill conversation. There are going to be a lot of people that hear this and blow it all out of proportion, blow it to levels that it's not at. But this is a really hard truth. And it is the truth. If a woman does not see your value, unfortunately, sometimes you have to make her see it. Now, there are going to be people that watch this and blow it out of proportion and say, so you're saying that men should openly cheat on their wives and on their girlfriends or whatever? It's like, no, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. I am not on, you know, the opinion of you should have multiple wives. Obviously, because I'm a woman, I don't want to be one of many. But, you know, if people do that, That's their thing. Personally, can't get behind that. However, it is a fact that women will respond to men when they know that other women are interested. It's literally just built into our DNA. It's there, it's real, it matters. And he's absolutely right that if a woman can't see that you're high value, and, you know, whatever that may be from, if it means that she can see that other women are interested in you, even if it's not like right in your face, if you know that you have a high value man, you don't need to see other women being interested in him. You just know when he's not with you that other women are interested in him because you know the kind of man that he is. If, however, a woman loses that and a woman starts to think like, oh, he's fine, he's safe, he's the safe option, no other woman's going to flirt with him, then that will come off in how she behaves around him. That will come off in the way she talks to him. That will come off in, you know, just her general demeanor around him, how she treats him. She'll start to treat him as, you know, less than a man. Maybe not even consciously, but it will come off. It will come off. If a woman loses that admiration for her man, then she will treat him differently. So if that admiration isn't there, he's right. Sometimes a little reminder that other women do find you attractive, it does something. It will do something for sure.
Not too covertly, but enough that it's like, you know, she cracks a smile, you know, calls you sweetie maybe or something like that. Men have to create a level of some competition anxiety in her woman if he wants to have a good, intimate relationship with her. There's no doubt about that. It's unquestionable. She's not obligated to have sex with you. She's not obligated to love you in a perpetuity. You still have to do the things that maintain the attraction that you did early on, well into the autumn years of the relationship.
Are you working with any guys who are married whose wife have gone through menopause yet? Because this is a
loads. Yeah. I mean, like HRT is a game changer for a lot of women, but a lot of it is like fixing the mindset of the.
I wonder what that is, HRT. I've not heard of it. Perhaps it's some kind of therapy for women who are going through menopause.
Guy, so that he understands how to manage the marriage. And it's costly for a lot of guys because it's like, you know, I make this joke with them all the time. It's like, you know, to try to fix a sexless relationship is you're doing all this work on yourself first, right? Like you have to increase your value. You have to increase your level of attractiveness. That's the key, starting there, because the go plan is the exact same as the stay plan. If she doesn't like who you make yourself into as you increase your value and she's not responsive to you, you can hit the road running, bud. You know, there's going to be lots of opportunities out there. Like one of the things that a lot of guys find, that I deal with privately in my counseling is like, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, I just can't believe it. You know, we've been married for 25 years. I've tried this, that, and I've leveled up and I don't know if I'm going to find better. And it's like, I've seen 57-year-old guys sleep with women in their 20s that are enthusiastic about them. Like they are like they don't believe, and they come back to me like, Rich, you're absolutely right. Like what you said is exactly what works.
No lies detected. He's absolutely right.
So I get that guys are going to be, you know, hesitant to sort of adopt or even accept a lot of these ideas. But again, like I'll tell you the same thing, like have fun being in a sexless, unromantic marriage. And if that's where you want to be, if she doesn't come around, if she doesn't want you, then that's fine. I mean, you know, just move on. She's got first dibs. She doesn't want it. Move on. Do
you think that most women go into marriage with ill intentions? Because no. I personally don't know any woman that's ever gone in there and not been completely excited and enthusiastic about her husband on the day of her wedding. So I'm not seeing a bait and switch.
Anna Nicole Smith and that Houston billionaire, I can't remember his name. She was like a 20-something-year-old Playboy playmate, and he was like an 80-something-year-old guy in a chair. Like she was clearly there for the money.
Right.
Anybody that can't see that needs to get their eyes checked. But I think
there are women that absolutely go into marriage with ill intentions. Absolutely.
I think the vast majority of women go into a marriage. It's the biggest day of their life, the ceremony, the people in the room, you know, the drinking, the cake, the dinners, and all that sort of stuff. It's super important to them. But again, you know, the conversations you have with women are different than the conversations that you have with men when it comes to marriage. Men, you have to remind that they have an obligation to keep doing the things that they did to attract the woman, which are different than what the women did to attract the guy. You know, like one of the reasons why guys will get married is like, well, she was enthusiastic about me and we had sex all the time, and she couldn't keep her hands off me or stuff like that. And it's like, she was probably useful to his life and she was respectful and she wanted to embed or infuse herself into his life and be helpful. And, for a lot of women, they'll just get lazy in a long-term relationship. And my dudes, like if you're on the top shelf or you're close to it or you're doing the work and you're putting the dent in the universe and she's not holding up her end of the bargain, leave. Again, she's got first dibs on you. If she doesn't behave right, there's no reason why you should stay in that type of environment if you're unhappy. Women leave all the time. They untie the knot 70-80% of the time because they're not happy. So why are you sticking around in a miserable marriage because of obligation or, because...
I completely agree with him. It's that whole thing of, if the shoe is on the other foot. He's absolutely right. Women are the ones initiating most of the divorce, and a lot of the grounds for women, initiating divorce is, I'm unhappy. Why are they unhappy? Well, from their perspective, it's often, well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. And it's always about he's doing or not doing. But if that's the case and that is grounds for leaving, then it works the same both ways. It absolutely works the same both ways. Because the way I think about it is like this. And I don't know if a lot of women think about it like this, but this is just how I think about it. As a woman, I know the older I get, the more my value, sexual market value. I'm a human being. I have innate value. I know that. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm fine. But I understand that my sexual value is going to go down the older I get. And there are going to be newer women coming along that are going to be much more attractive than me. Damn, it sucks. Like, I know that that's a fact, right? So if that's the case and the odds are constantly against me, then it's not a case of my efforts being up here. I secure the guy and then I can relax. No, securing the guy is just the beginning. Because typically as a man gets older, once you get to a lot older and you're both kind of pretty frail, maybe you can both chill out a bit and have someone else do all the work for you guys. But, the main chunk of life, as a woman gets older, it's all going down for her. Whilst as a man gets older, it's almost always all going up. So that effort that you put in at the start as a woman, once you get the guy, that effort then needs to go berserk. That effort needs to be on steroids at that point. Because every day into that marriage, you are physically, at least, going to become further away from that girl that he married on your wedding day. And that is a fact. That is a fact. It's also a fact that men are often visual creatures. Easiest way to attract a man a lot of the time, at least first instant sexual attraction. I know women can become quite off-putting when they start showing their personality, but first initial attraction is often physical attraction. That is a fact. So if you know in your head that it is a fact, that from the day you secure that man, you are going to become physically at least more unattractive every single day, then you need to be making sure that everything else about you is ensuring that you keep that attraction. And it works the same for men as well. Of course it works the same for men, but it's a different paradigm. Men are going to be attracted about what we do for them in that relationship, not so much about, what we're doing for everyone else, unless it's, children, family, the people that matter, right? Whereas as a dude, as a woman watching, we're not just watching what you're doing with us in the room. We're watching what are you doing for your business, job, whatever it may be, your associates, your family, as well as us. Everything everyone does is important. So the point is that you've got to keep doing it. The wedding day is not the destination. It's the start line. It is the start line. And the finish line is till death do us part. If you make it to your deathbed, still married, in 2025, in, you know, whatever years to come, you've made it. Only then can you say you've made it. And I mean a real marriage, not just a we sleep in separate rooms and we don't even talk to each other. I mean a real marriage where you guys fought for each other. You continued to fight, to strive to be the better version of yourself every day to ensure that that person is still glad they made that choice. You've won at that point. But that is rare. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. That is very rare. And I'm also not going to sit here and lie about the fact that a lot of the reason it fails is because women don't understand their side of the deal. Why? Feminism? Ignorance? They don't want to understand? But that is the truth of it. A lot of the time. Not all the time. There are dudes that significantly fail as husbands. You know, things like abuse, infidelity, addiction, all of that stuff, the horrible stuff. But it's small minority. But the truth is that the majority of failed marriages have failed because of the woman's initiation, and often what men feel like is a lack of effort on her part. So these are all just facts. As you guys know, I'm not saying anything new. This is just the facts of the situation.
You just think that you should for whatever reason. You know, what do you want out of life? You know, you're going to be dead and 6 foot under at some point. Everybody will be. You know, there's nobody on their deathbed that's like, gee, you know, I wish I tried harder, bro, you know, for my wife, sort of thing. It's like, you know, that just doesn't work.
Or I get really kind of frustrated when I'm reading these comments from guys is I'm like, okay, your wife's not giving you sex. You've said you've done everything to level up. You say you look good. You say you make good money.
Let me just stop you there, because everybody that has ever said in my comments that I look good or that I'm attractive, and I click on their profile and they have a picture, they're not. They're mostly
they have a skewed perception. Men do have a overly confident view of themselves.
And it's like, dude, like just because your mom says that you're a good guy, it doesn't mean that she's attracted to you.
Do you think the proof is in the pudding in that regard? Like, do you think if he was truly good looking that the wife would be up and jumping on it, or what?
It's not even about being good looking. It's not even about being good looking. I think it was, who was the guy that we watched recently? The guy from Lotus Eaters. Akkad? Was it him? Someone said it. But it was like, you know, the majority of men are not physically attractive to look at in the same way that women are. What makes a man attractive is his manliness. What makes a man, rather than, I don't know, do I like the way his eyelashes curl? I don't know. Hopefully you get what I'm saying.
Women don't leave guys that are handsome, successful, competent, resourceful, you know, rich. They don't leave guys like that. They don't cheat on guys like that. Other men become invisible to women like that for the most part. I know that there might be an outlier or two, and somebody will be in the comments going, you know, my cousin's sister's brother, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they've got a big, long story about it. But in the vast majority of cases, if a woman sees you as her best option, she will be enthusiastic for you for a long time. But there's mistakes that are made along the way. Like one of the arguments that I hear guys make a lot of time, well, what about Tom Brady? Because Giselle cheated on him with the Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor. Yeah, you're right. Tom Brady was awesome. He was world-class at his craft, made a lot of money, tall, handsome, competent, blah, blah, blah. You go all the way down the list. But he screwed up because he let his wife engage in a rolling art on the floor with another man. Like, you got to be an idiot.
Oh, he's right. Dumb move. I saw this video recently. I don't know, we're just going to go a bit off topic for a second. We'll come back to this video. But I saw this video recently on Instagram, and it was a couple that I followed for a while, and, you know, they're a bit cringe, but hey, I'm a girl. Like, I always thought they were a little bit cute, and definitely not the kind of gender intersexual dynamics that I would personally want in a marriage. They were much more like, you know, we're equal partners kind of thing, which is not really what I want, but it was sweet to look at. They were always smiling. They had a daughter together. They still have a daughter together, and I think they've had another one as well. Like, really young Christian couple, and I just thought it was sweet. Anyway, they're called Cam and Mal if you want to go and look them up. So yeah, I followed them on Instagram for a while, and I started to see this controversy over the last few days where basically the wife, and these people are like my age as well. They're, I think, maybe even younger than me. I think they're maybe like 23, 24. I don't know. Anyway, she is basically getting really excited because she's getting ready to go and play, I think it's pickleball. I don't really know what that is, but a game called pickleball with another guy. And Cam, the husband, is filming Mal, the wife, like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going to play pickleball. And she's like getting herself ready. And she's just got this like smile on her face. She's so excited. He's like, what? So the guy just like asked for your number? And she's like, yeah, he asked me to be on his team. So I'm going to go play and be on his team. And she's making it out. And all the women obviously in the comments are making it out. Like she's just excited because someone's seen her talent. But what shocked me the most in this is that, like, the dude has been so castrated by his female audience, the husband, that he's just like, okay, honey, have a good time. What? Wild to me. Absolutely wild to me. If your girl is getting that excited over another dude, like, and going to hang out with another dude when you're not there, like, this is a guy who's asked for her number, like, come off it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. What are you doing?
To let your wife roll around on the floor under the guise of self-protection? Are you stupid? Right? Like, what did you think was going to happen? And in that environment, you know, like we talk about hypergamy, right? Like in that environment, that man, that BJJ instructor who owned that dojo, who was a competent fighter, dominated and was her hypergamous best option as she saw it in that space. What did you think is going to happen if she's rolling around on the ground, becoming, like rolling around like that is an intimate movement, even though you're not having sex. It's still intimate to some degree between a man and a woman. Like, what did you think was going to happen there? Right? So it's like this notion of hypergamy just being her best option, being the only answer to it. Hypergamy is a multi-piece puzzle, right? There's hundreds of pieces to hypergamy. And it differs at different ages in her life. It differs in different times in her menstrual cycle, in the month, things that you have to consider and contemplate. But even that small element, like if you tell most guys, like you shouldn't let your woman roll around on the ground in a self-defense course with a man, like they'll be, oh, why? Like, why are you insecure? Like, why do you have a problem with that? Because I know what women respond to and I know what turns them on. And I know.
Honestly, you're not insecure for not wanting a girl to go do that. I feel like women sometimes we don't even understand ourselves. Like, of course, that is going to evoke certain feelings in you as a woman. Like, come on. Little self-awareness, guys. Be aware of yourselves. Men have to be aware of themselves all the time. Like, can you imagine being a dude? I know most of you are dudes, but for the few women that are watching, can you imagine being a dude and like having a penis and having the sex drive that is like 10 times more what yours is, and having a partner who you love and care deeply for, but there are constantly really attractive women everywhere you look, on bloody billboards walking in front of you, waitresses at your table, the girl at work who really smiles when she brings you a coffee, and, people in short skirts and porn and social media and all of this stuff. Like, men have to be aware of themselves all the time, and they have to control their urges, if they're in a monogamous relationship. But to act like women don't have those urges too, and we're these like innocent little angels of, oh, nothing can sway me, is just completely ignorant to the truth of what it is to be a human being. You were put here to reproduce. So that force, that drive to reproduce and look for the best partner to reproduce with is always on for everyone. So let's not play games here and ignore that doesn't exist, because it absolutely does.
That's a dumb idea, just like letting your girlfriend or wife go away for a girls' weekend to Cancun or Vegas or something like that. Like, are you stupid? What do you think happens in places like that? I trust the locks Vegas, on my $300,000 Porsche. I'm not parking it in a shitty neighborhood overnight. Mm-hmm. I know what can happen if I park it there, right? It's the same thing. Like, guys don't think about these small, nuances and little rabbit holes that exist in relationships, because they sit back and they go, well, why can't you just be loyal? Why can't you just love me for who I am? Because that's not how women work.
It's funny that you use that example, because I used that exact example myself. She had actually a higher net worth than he did. So that money aspect, which many find would be an asset to the mini situation, that wasn't what was important to her. She had her own money. So you can't always just look at the money. And money is a factor, but I always say it's not the whole pie.
Proximity, exclusivity, and familiarity. And there was loads of those three things between her and Tom Brady. They didn't exist with the BJJ instructor, and he was new. He was novel. He was sexy, different. And it's like, again, you park your car in a shitty neighborhood overnight, or you send your wife away to a weekend in Cancun or Vegas or something like that. Don't expect good things to happen, right? Like, you're inviting horror into your life. If you care about her in the relationship, and if she cares about you, she's not going to push back. She's not going to say, oh, well, why are you so insecure? Why can't I train with this guy? Well, I mean, look, if you really want to train in BJJ, find a female instructor, with her own dojo that only trains women.
Exactly. And this is the thing, is that let's go back to the scenario I was talking about, the pickleball situation. If the guy had just said to her, if you're really enthusiastic about having a pickleball partner, why don't we just find a female one for you? I am telling you now, the disappointment that I can see in her face. And I'm sure it'd be the same for Tom Brady's wife. Can you imagine if he said that? If he said, let's go, if it's really the BJJ that you care about, let's find you a female instructor. Because if the whole point is self-defense against a male and you're a female, then surely you need to learn from another female, because they're going to be able to really understand your body mass, your body composition, how to move, whatever. I personally don't believe in the whole thing anyway. I think it's all ridiculous. If a man wants to attack you, he's going to attack you. There's nothing you can do about it. But beside that, if it's really about the thing and it's not about the person, then the person shouldn't matter. But I can guarantee you, the way you can always tell if you've got something to worry about is focus on the thing and not the person. And if a woman's reaction changes, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Fine with that. Go for it. If you really feel the need to learn how to roll.
Right. It's your job to protect what you find valuable. So I don't see a problem with that at all.
To set the frame and manage the frame of the relationship and lead it. And a lot of men, give up that leadership role to her and just say, whatever you want, babe, whatever makes you happy. Happy wife, happy life, right?
I've been on a kick with frame lately. I just dropped a couple videos about that. I think that if sex has been awful, it's probably because there's a problem with your frame. And if sex was once there and you can correct your frame, that it probably can be restored. Do you think that's true?
It's very difficult. Most men find, once you set the precedent and she views you as a plugged-in beta male, then it's very difficult to reassert yourself and to have her view you as an unplugged alpha.
Is she just like, oh, I know this is not the guy, you're trying to be this guy?
I mean, that's just how she sees you.
She's not buying it?
She's been married to you for 10 years or 20 years, and all of a sudden, you try to reassert yourself and lead the relationship if you haven't done it for 10 or 20 years. Because you read a couple books or you did some counseling. Even if you do the absolute right things, even if you're successful at it, which you won't be to the degree if you left that relationship, believe it or not, but even if you are successful at it, your reward for all of that work to get it's like getting a better cookie. You know what I mean? You've been getting dried, stale saltine crackers for years, and then all of a sudden, you get handed an Oreo or something like that. It's you get a slightly better cookie, sort of thing. But you don't get the cookie jar with all the variety in it with the different cookies now, right? Now you just get a slightly better cookie, or a fresher version of the cracker that's not stale. That's all you're getting back, right? So it's even the reward for the work kind of pales in a comparison to the work that you're doing. And for most guys, they don't usually have a lot of success in winning her back. I'm not saying it can't happen. It can, but it's rare that it does, because she's already set her mind's eye. She's already set the way that she views him in a certain light or a certain regard. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but unless women start throwing themselves at him and he's got optionality in front of her, she probably won't change her view of him.
But in my mind, there's no doubt.
It's tough being a guy. Honestly, I don't envy the fact that guys, you can't take your foot off the gas for too long. I do believe if you've got a good woman, that in times of need, you know, someone dies or, you know, you go through a tragedy, something like that, it's okay to let it down for a second. But, you know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, yeah, you got to pick it back up real quick. And I hate this. I'm a woman and I will tell you that I hate this about my nature. There are bad sides to everything. This is just one of the bad sides of female nature. But what he's saying is absolutely true. We women are so unbelievably critical when it comes to a romantic partner because we are biologically designed to be that way, to ensure that our children's fathers are competent, capable, and leaders. That, yeah, how we view you really does matter. And I don't envy guys in that respect because they've really got to be switched on and locked in all the time. And that is bloody exhausting. That is bloody exhausting. And that's why I have so much respect for men. I was thinking about this recently, like just when I'm out about on my travels, I like using my car quite a lot. I don't use public transport. It doesn't feel safe. And I see all these men all the time fixing the roads, you know, doing the bins, waking up early in the morning, just all of this stuff that I think, how many women walk around and aren't even noticing this? Sometimes I feel compelled to just go over and thank them. Thank you for cleaning up the bins. Thank you for ensuring our streets aren't flooded with garbage. Thank you for fixing our roads so that my car doesn't get a flat tire from a pothole. Thank you for keeping the lights on in my house. We take all of that really for granted. Men do a lot. They really have to do a lot. I know it's just the way the world is, but I really do feel for guys because it's... I mean, obviously there's a reason I couldn't do it, but yeah, I couldn't do it. It's there's so much to do all the time and it's never enough.
Downfall in attempting to do so.
But I mean, like if you're overweight, fix your weight so that you don't have diabetes and heart disease, for crying out loud.
Basically, there's a lot of self-improvement you need to start with, and that's regardless of the side benefit that comes to the relationship. You just need to get your crap right with yourself. Anyway, I have a kind of a default motto that I use with my guys. And I say that a woman's effort is the truest indicator that will show her love for you. Would you agree with that? Or is there some other indicator that you can
you can judge a woman's attraction to you by what she's willing to give you. More specifically with her body, like the more generous that she is with her body to you, clearly the more that she likes her. The other very strong indicator is the cost of that love. Like guys that are forced to spend all kinds of money, take her on trips, buy her handbags and purses, take her away to that special yurt or treehouse on Airbnb that she likes or whatever. Guys that are forced to spend a lot of money and time on a woman, she doesn't really like him because it's more transactional than it is validational. Whereas a woman that's enthusiastic about a man, she'll make it very cheap. There will be a great discount for her offering her time and her love in it. Like a woman that loves a guy unconditionally, like he's her best option. She'll go to the grocery store, pick up the food that he likes, show up at his house, cook it for him, put everything away, feed him, and sit quietly beside him and just watch Netflix for the night and be totally happy and content and in love with the guy. Right? That's extremely low cost versus the other guy that's like, he's dating and, like the woman that he's dating is like, well, I need to have 3 months or 8 months, before I'll be intimate with you, right? Like they make them wait, like the beta in waiting sort of thing.
If you are truly crazy about the guy, you can't behave like that. You can't. He's absolutely right. It's a very clear indication.
And it's like, she didn't make the guy wait at, the Ibiza foam cannon party and when she banged him 20 minutes after meeting him because he's Pablo, the hot Italian, during that summer, right? So she makes the cost very, very low for him too.
Yeah, I think that was absolutely right. I'm sad I didn't get to hear more about that lady and what her scenario was with regards to the title being about testosterone. But nonetheless, there was a lot of truth in that video and a lot of points that I've come across before and still believe to be true. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comment section below? As always, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all of my content. And if you have a video for me to react to, you can send it over to me via my email address. It's christinegracesmith@outlook.com. And if you'd like to consider supporting the channel, you can do that by clicking the link in the description at buymeacoffee.com or by becoming a member right here on YouTube and joining my community. And on that note, I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.